welcome back to my channel, Today Katie. Today I want to do a little recap of my Steadfast journey for the year. And if you've missed some of my previous videos, I chose a word of the year for 2020, which is steadfast. And steadfast basically means not losing purpose, being unwavering in my goals and my dedication to those. And basically to me it means not letting my emotions dictate what I do, but making my plans and my commitments dictate what I do. I did make a video about why I chose this word, so I'm not going to go into that really in depth here, but basically I've just always struggled with consistency. I've always struggled with doing things just because I'm supposed to do them and not because I just feel like doing them. I'm a very emotional person, like I like to follow my emotions, how I feel in the moment, but I realized that that wasn't healthy for me and it was keeping me from succeeding in a lot of different areas of my life. So I knew steadfast was something I need to work on. If you missed that first video where I explained my whole purpose behind it, I'll link that above just so you can check that out if you're interested. So part of my steadfast journey for this year is that after each month, I'm going to do a recap of how I did pursuing steadfastness throughout the month. And this will be the recap for February because now it is March. So February was a very different month for me. First of all, it's just a short month and I know it's only a couple days shorter, but it felt really fast to me. And part of it is because we actually went to Disney World at the beginning of the month, which was amazing. Also, if you haven't seen them on my channel, I've been posting my Disney vlogs, so I will link those above as well. Definitely check them out if you're a Disney fan or if you just like travel vlogs. We had a ton of fun on our trip. Obviously it was a little crazy because it's Disney World and you're running around, but it was a really good time. But that did kind of throw off the month a little bit. Like I wasn't really on a normal schedule while I was there, obviously. We weren't gone very long, but you know, you're preparing before you leave and then you come back and you're always trying to get kind of back into the swing of things. So it did take a little bit to kind of get back into my habits. And some of those habits I got into well, and other ones not so well, which I'll explain. So first of all, this month, I think with my spiritual life is where I've seen the most consistency and the most growth. I'm gonna be honest with you, like reading my Bible and praying consistently has something I have struggled with in the past year. I became a parent about a year ago, and so we adopted our daughter from foster care. I have a lot of videos about that as well if you're interested in learning more about our story, but it was a rough year and I didn't always lean on God in the times that I should have. I really was like leaning on myself and my own strength a lot, which, in case you're wondering, didn't work out too well for me. Basically, I was really struggling at first with our daughter, and she was, you know, going through grieving her foster home, grieving some of the things in her past, and she's only 2, but there was just a lot of emotions going on, and it did affect me a lot, and I felt like while it should have pushed me towards God and pushed me more into His Word and pushed me more into prayer, I found myself kind of like stepping back and not spending time with Him. I think I felt very overwhelmed, and instead of relying on Him, I just backed away in my own corner and tried to just deal with my emotions. And for a long time, I didn't really even share those emotions with friends, and so I was really kind of fighting a hard battle. But I'm really thankful because February has been the month where I have been like the most on track with like reading my Bible and praying. And I don't even mean that in like a legalistic sense. Like I did it each day, but not each day. I didn't do it every single day. But I was really trying to do it more often. And so I'm really thankful for that because I saw growth and I saw a desire in myself to do it. It wasn't like I was just doing it to tick off a box and to be like, okay, I did my good Christian girl thing, like read my Bible and prayed. It was like a desire was forming in me more to do that and not to let other things kind of get in the way of that in my life. So I was really just thankful for that. A big reason why that was better was this app called YouVersion. And if you have not heard of it, I would definitely check it out. There's an app, and then I think the website is just called bible.com. Basically, they have different reading plans. And what you can do, some of them are like more devotionals. I think they have more like text alongside the Bible. The one we're doing with the ladies in my house church, my small group, is we are just reading through the Gospels. And the way they have it set up is that you do one chapter per day, but in order to make it a little less stressful on us, a little less pressure, we decided to try to shoot for 3 chapters a week. So I'm gonna be honest, I was not perfect. I did not do every single day we were supposed to, but I was like in my Bible so much more, because the thing that this does is you can do the plan with other people and you all create accounts, and you can go on and like you read the chapter, and then there's a spot at the end where you can comment. And for me, having the ability to go in and comment and like read the comments of the other women that I know that I'm reading the Bible with, and being able to see on like a daily basis like the thoughts they're having were really similar to some of the thoughts I was having, or you know, one of us could ask a question and the other women could answer it, and it really just it made reading the Bible feel so much more like a community-based thing rather than a me in my room just doing this and having questions and not being able to ask them, you know. So I really loved doing that, and like I said, I was not perfect, but it helped me get in my Bible so much more. And part of the reason is because every day, anytime someone comments, it sends you an email and it's like, this person has commented on day 15 of the plan. And so then you can kind of read that person's comment and you're like, oh yeah, I should read that later. So for me, it was just a reminder. There are days where I will just not even think about it. It's not even that I'm like, oh, I should do that, but I just don't have time. It's like, it doesn't cross my mind. And I realize that that's kind of a problem, but this has helped me a lot. And I found myself, just like I said, desiring to be in the Word more and desiring to pray more, and even just to be able to keep in touch with those women throughout the week. And I see them, you know, 2 or 3 times a week for the most part, but in order to be with them kind of day to day in the Bible and seeing their thoughts they're having and going deeper, I personally love it. I've really enjoyed that app and I definitely recommend it. So like I said, I saw a lot of growth in that area. Another area that I had a lot of success in was actually with my blog and my vlog. So in September of this past year of 2019, I really wanted to start blogging again. And I was really afraid to, honestly. I mean, it's hard to put yourself out here online. I mean, especially on YouTube, but I think even with blogging, I was an English major in college, and so I think there's this extra, I don't know, I feel like my writing has to be perfect, and newsflash, it's not. And so I felt like I couldn't really produce anything without it being perfect, and I was so worried about what people would think when they read it, and I was also really nervous that I was going to start it and then totally abandon it, because I have had several things recently where I started something, I started a project, or I started a little side job or things like that, and I really thought it was going to go somewhere, and then I lost steam and was like, I can't do it anymore. And while there's nothing wrong with that, like, it's good to know our boundaries, and looking back, I think the choices to stop those things were really good. I felt a lot like a quitter. I felt like I was just giving up too easily and not sticking with things, especially when it was like something like writing or things like that. So I knew that I needed to set myself up for success. So I told myself that for the first several months, I was not going to focus at all about like getting my blog out there. I was just going to be focused on writing consistently and posting. And I started doing that, and it was really cool because I realized how much I enjoyed it. And I wasn't stressing myself out trying to get it on Pinterest and trying to get people on my blog. I was like, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because I enjoy writing, and I'm going to put it out there. And that was really good for me because it kept me going in my blogging when I knew I couldn't be perfect. And it didn't put like the worth of my blog on how many people saw it even. It was like, I'm showing up each week and I'm committing to doing this. And I'm going to be honest, there are times where I write blog posts really last minute. Like there was a February one I did. I wrote it like the day I was going to post it, because I post on Thursdays and I really wanted to make sure that I did it. And you know what? It ended up being a pretty good blog. I mean, I'm sure it's not perfect. I'm sure I could have gone more in depth, but I stuck with it and I did it, and I did it when I said it was going to. And so that is something I saw a lot of like continued growth in February. And along with my YouTube channel, I vlogged our Disney trips, as I mentioned earlier. So that is, when you vlog a trip, as I am learning, because it's the first time I've ever done it, it's a lot of work on the editing side of things when you get back, because you have all this footage from random parts of your day. And, like, we had some footage on our phones and some footage on the camera, and like having to go through, and it's really time consuming. And so it's easy to be like, well, I'm just, you know, I'm not going to be able to post it on time. And to be fair, I did post the first one like a little bit later, like a day later. but I still got it up and I didn't wait all the way until the next week. So I've been really happy with myself and the way that I've been consistent in that area, and not letting this idea of having to be perfect keep me from just getting it done. And that is something that I struggled with a lot. I want to say last year, but really my whole life. But last year I really worked through some of that perfectionism. And so it's really cool to me to see how this like steadfast goal and that perfectionism thing are kind of working together to grow me more. So really thankful for the growth I saw in that, and just excited to see where my channel goes and where my blog goes. And I'm not like, I don't have a lot of subscribers, but you know what? In the past month, my subscribers doubled, so I still have less than 100, but you know, I'm just happy that I've stuck with it. And even when, you know, I've seen other people who started YouTube channels around the same time as me, and they've grown a little faster than me, and part of that's because they're making, you know, some of those people make videos I just personally wouldn't make. Like, I'm gonna make things that I would watch, and even if that is a slower growth, like, I'm sticking with that. I try to make things that I personally would enjoy watching, and I hope that those of you still on this video enjoy watching those too. If you do, by the way, subscribe, because like I said, if you like this one, I make a lot of videos like this. So overall, those are my successes in February. But let's move on to the things that are not as fun to talk about, which are my failures. And I don't want to call them failures because it's more just like, you know, struggles I've had. And one of the areas that I've been trying to be more consistent in is healthy eating and healthy habits. And when I say healthy eating, I just want to kind of preface this. I am not an extreme person. I'm not going to be the type of person who's like eliminating a whole food group in my diet and like sticking. I know there are people like that who can do that and stick to it really, really strictly. For me personally, I do not think that would be a healthy mindset, and it would be really hard for me to do. I can't imagine myself doing that. But something that I've been really trying to work on, just in the health realm, is moderation and consistency. So first of all, with moderation, when I say that, it's kind of even more like making meal plans that have, you know, some healthy meals throughout the week and sticking with them instead of just like changing my plan last minute because it doesn't sound good in the moment. And that's something I really do struggle with. And so this past month was a little rough because we went to Disney World, and while we were at Disney World, we were just like, we're on vacation, we're gonna treat ourselves, we're gonna have some extra things. And when we got back, it was really hard to get back into like, oh, I have to cook. I kind of got used to that whole like just walking up to a counter and someone giving me food thing. And so it was a little rough, and then, you know, you get back and you're unpacking. I'm not trying to make excuses, I'm just explaining like part of the reason why this happened. So yeah, we got really used to that, and we're coming back, we were just like a little behind on cleaning and behind on all this stuff. And so we ended up either not eating meals that were super healthy but were like easy to make here, or we ended up going out more than we normally would. So that wasn't great. And I also, my sleep schedule has been off for this whole, I don't want to say the whole month, but I haven't been on a great sleeping schedule. And whenever I do that, it makes me want to eat unhealthy, and it makes me want to not exercise. And in the exercise realm of things, before we left, I was working out very consistently. And I use the term working out very loosely because I'm not the type of person that's going to be like, I mean, at least at this point in my life, I'm not the type of person who's going to be like at the gym doing all this stuff all the time. I walked on my treadmill. We have a treadmill. I was walking on it at least 30 minutes, like almost, I would say 5 out of 7 days of the week. I was doing that very consistently. I sometimes do little hand weights. It's all at home. I have a 2-year-old and I work, so it is hard to get out. But I was happy with that because I knew that was what I needed. I needed to just be consistently walking, consistently showing up for those things, and it felt good. And I have totally, I mean, ever since we got back from Disney World, I have not stepped foot on the treadmill one time, and I have not walked outside because it's been freezing. So really, I just haven't exercised, other than if you count like hardcore cleaning my house, okay? Unless you count that, I have not been exercising at all. That is something I really, for March, I want to focus on getting back into, and I think it's going to be really hard to jump back into 5 days a week because I'm just so out of practice and it sounds so hard. You know, sometimes like if you haven't done something in a long time, even if it's something that's not that hard, it sounds impossible just getting started. Oh, sorry, my phone is ringing or something. Anyway, I realized that it's really not that hard of a thing to walk my treadmill, but I kind of need to get over it mentally. And so my first goal, honestly, for March is just to start sleeping more. Go to bed early, which is very hard. I am a night owl just by nature, like always have been, and I work very early in the morning. I'm a teacher. I have to be there at 7:15, which means I have to leave my house at 6:45 at the latest, and so it's just hard. It's hard to get up on time, it's hard to go, and so I'm really going to start trying to work on slowly getting myself to bed earlier. And that's going to be kind of one of my ways of being steadfast this month, and I'm hoping that that will also spill over into other habits in my life. Will help me, you know, desire to eat more healthy, help me to have the energy to exercise more. And I think I want to slowly get up to working out 3 times a week. So that is my goal for March. But overall, I think February was good. And I think, if anything, what this journey is teaching me so far is that I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to intentionally choose not to do things I'm supposed to do. And I just have to keep going. And so I hope those of you following along with my steadfast journey for this year, that you feel encouraged as well, because none of us are perfect. I certainly am not. If you've watched any videos of my channel, you probably realize that. But it is definitely not an easy thing to pursue your goals when life happens. I just want to be a reminder to those of you who are just like struggling to stick to your goals and struggling, and maybe you made a New Year's resolution or a word of the year and you're just totally falling off the wagon. I just want to encourage you, you don't have to fall off the wagon completely. You can get back on. It's not that hard. Build up your goals slowly. Like, I was working out a lot more, and I'm not going to jump right back into that. I'm going to build up those goals slowly so that I can have success as I go on and feel better. I hope that you feel encouraged as well. Just give yourself some grace and we can get through this together. So keep pushing towards your goals. I hope that if you are struggling, you are encouraged by this. If so, can you just please like the video? Or if you just want to encourage me to keep going, give me one of those likes and go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more content. As I said earlier, I post a video every week, and so I usually post about travel, adoption, lifestyle, organization. I've got like a weekend vlog coming up. I don't know if that will be posted by now or not, but I just want to share life with you, and yeah, welcome to my Casa. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day, guys.